time. I told you I'd be there when you listen to me cry. But I don't know, I'm really busy now. I want you to trust me, but I won't come around. I made it look like I tried, not hard enough. I'm so bad at trying to be good for you. I don't even look at you when I know I'm gonna break your heart. I'm so bad that I don't even notice it when I give you empty promises. It's like I know I'm gonna break your heart. Yeah, I'm so bad. So give up on me, I'll set you free. Put my mind at ease. Give up on me, I'm not good for you. It's not hard to see. You've been moving on. I told you good for you. Now that you're gone, I don't feel so good. Can you please come back just to tuck me in? Promise I'll be interested in all of your things. I made it look like I tried, not hard enough. I'm so bad at trying to be good for you. I don't even look at you when I know I'm gonna break your heart. I'm so bad that I don't even notice it when I give you empty promises. It's like I know I'm gonna break your heart. Yeah, I'm so bad. So give up on me, I'll set you free. Put my mind at ease. Give up on me, I'm not good for you. It's not hard to see. I don't know how'd you go on without you? 'Cause my soul needs a hold of you. I'm so bad at trying to be good for you. I don't even look at you when I know I'm gonna break your heart. I'm so bad that I don't even notice it when I give you empty promises. It's like I know I'm gonna break your heart. Yeah, I'm so bad. So give up on me, I'll set you free. I'm so bad. Give up on me, I'm not good for you. It's not hard to see. So give up on me, I'll set you free. I'm so bad. Give up on me, I'm not good for you. It's not hard to see.
Hey, what's up, people? How's it going? I got back late coming up the stairs, but it's all good. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna 100% get into this. Give me a second here. I gotta do something. Smash that like button first, people. I'd appreciate that. All right. I'm on my other profile from our browser. So we're going to get back into this part 2 and see what BBW or Veronica has to say. There's a lot I got to say. So we're going to get into it, okay? Cuz she was having a stream party last night. And we're going to go over that, but before that we're going to go right here. What's up, LV Raider? What's up, Blue Eyes? How you doing? Welcome.
The Tool song. And again, I met Tool. I went on tour with them for a few days. And so I messaged, I told her, hey, I see you like Tool. I toured with Tool. And then she was like, I'm in a band. I was in a band and I did this, that, and the other. And I was like, cool.
How the hell did she tour with Tool? Was she a singer or something? I think I went 2 ahead. Let me go back a little bit here. No, I went 2 back. I need to go ahead. All right, let's go to right here. What's up, Empress Beaded? How you doing?
Jealousy. It's all jealousy. We're not gonna beat around the bush no more in any of this. Everything these cunts are doing to me is jealousy. It's just jealousy. And I know I'm supposed to ignore it. But these bitches have been doing this shit for 3 years. 3 years altogether. Not individually the entire time, this time here, this time there. It's been 3 years of dealing with this stupidity.
Yeah, I don't
And
know how somebody honestly can say they toured with Tool. Like, how could you tour with Tool? Are you a musician? Because following the band around and going to their concert isn't touring with them. You're being more of a groupie than anything else. If you're touring with a band such as Tool, that means you're performing either before or after, typically before, because you know the more popular bands, the headliners, the main headliner will go up, towards the end. The people who maybe don't have such a big following or name for themselves go on earlier, right? That's how it works. What video is this? This is the video that she did a couple days ago. I think in around a week, and then I'm gonna go over the other video. This is her more explaining um more of the whole situation with herself and the accusations of her and what she was doing with the website, and then going into a little bit of the whole Budapest situation, which I actually did appreciate her with the Budapest situation, seeing it for what it is. Because if you don't know, I guess I'll explain again. Budapest did a lot of things, even up to maybe 2 3 months ago, a lot of things that I will have to go over, and I will probably seek counsel for what she's been doing to try and lock me up, telling lies to officers to try and get me locked up. But that's a whole nother story, because that will just be a lawsuit on my end that I'm going to be working on. But like I said, with BBW Veronica, I really appreciated her, showing people that, listen, there is a reason why she put that video out when she's stumbling all over and the guy's trying to get out of the area below her, because, she wanted to make it seem as if I was raping her. Let's just be honest here. That's what she wanted to do. The whole, oh, Monty sending me dick pics worked for a little bit until it was found out that it wasn't me. So then why not just, put out a video making it seem like I'm going around raping people, and that will get rid of me, right? This girl was Maynard James Keenan's girlfriend because he has a big thing. Really? Are you serious? Let me see. Are you serious? I gotta look that up. Oh my god. So he's now 61. Are you serious? Are you just saying that, or you like, yeah, I agree about that a few years ago. Veronica was very level-headed for what she did, but the thing is that I guess there is no honor in girl world. People turn on you like nothing. Like I said, my last video would be BW Veronica. Purple Glitter was her friend. Leave Purple Glitter alone. As soon as she found out Purple Glitter was getting into legal trouble, she jumped on the bandwagon, and now Purple Glitter is part of her content, which I think is in poor taste. If you're gonna label somebody as your friend and you're cool with them, then why are you making videos about the legal trouble that they're in? It's kind of like, and you're making light of it, saying certain things, allowing people to say things in the chat. I think that, to me, poor taste. But hey, that's just me.
and Buddha, all of them. It's all games. It's all games. It's all games. It's all games. So we're just going to go through the hierarchy in girl world. We're going to watch Azria's discussion that she did on when she was trafficked. And we're going to talk about the difference between what I did versus what she did. Okay.
You know what? I could literally too long didn't read this. What explanation can you give from running a so-called website where you posted ads for women, and then when Fasta Sesta came out in 2018, right? You got scared because you thought, hey, I might actually face some prison time, not jail time, prison time, federal prison time, that you run away to Mexico. And when you thought it was things were cool and safe and okay for you to come back, then you're back in the States. There's a reason she did this. People, I'm appealing to your logic here. You're not foolish individuals. Why would somebody leave the country because Fasta Sesta came in and about? They're doing that because they feel like they've done something wrong that can warrant them, serving some like serious prison time. That's why she left to Mexico. But even that is really fucking stupid, because why the hell would you go to Mexico? You are going to Mexico of all places when Mexico has extradition treaty with the States. Stupid. And why would you go to a country that has poor conditions overall and has even poorer conditions in jail? Stupid. That if you get locked up with them, then you're so screwed in a Mexican prison. Go to somewhere where let me look it up. I think we have a what was it? Scandinavian countries that have, I know Jamaica has an extradition treaty. I believe there's a lot of countries that have extradition treaties. Like there's just certain countries you do not want to be in. You'd actually do better in an American jail, and even those can be like gnarly compared to like a Mexican jail. Like the stupidest thing to do is run away to Mexico, thinking the long arm of the law is not going to reach you. Stupid. You like look at these countries that I'm looking, like Lesotho, Kosovo, Liberia, Malawi has an extradition treaty. Okay, yeah, you could have gone to like Luxembourg. I think Luxembourg would have been good. But there's another country you could have run to. Netherlands. That is it. You should have just gone to Netherlands with your trafficking ass, and you would have been in heaven in their jail systems. Switzerland would be another one. You could have gone to Switzerland or the Netherlands or Luxembourg. I believe Luxembourg is like a really rich country. So even if you're in their jail, right? Like you would have been treated really well, right? You want to go to a wealthy country if you're still that stupid to go to a country where the USA has an extradition treaty with. I'm just saying, I'm using my logic here, my brain. Something you should do, Veronica.
And again, it is very hierarchy related.
They're pretty depraved now, really, in Netherlands, but isn't Netherlands still one of like the better countries in terms of life and enjoyment and whatnot? But you're saying that they're pretty depraved now. Okay. How about Switzerland? Switzerland's supposed to be good. I'm telling you, Blue Eyes, Vietnam, no extradition. I guess you could go to Vietnam. I guess so.
I always knew that I went through the ranks of whoredom online.
I'm literally looking at a Netherlands prison. They have a fucking chandelier and couches with fucking pillows, like the bright pillows. Jesus Christ. They have a freaking white chandelier. Like, what kind of prison is this? This is where you want to let me put it up. I'm going to put up the Netherlands prison. This is what I'm saying, people. If you want to go somewhere and you're still foolish enough to go to a country that has a extradition treaty with the States, at least live in the lap of luxury here, because this is, oh boy, what? No way is there gonna be a sense. Oh no, they did not put a cinema in the prison. They did not do this shit. This is just like, this is not even prison anymore. It's just luxurious. No, they did not do this. Okay, wait. Are you telling me they're putting a prison? Is this a prison? It looks like a prison. I see the door is there. Are you telling me they're putting a cinema in? How long ago was this? Okay, why the Dutch are closing prisons or what they're doing with empty ones? Oh, they're putting a cinema in the old prison. I was hearing they were closing a lot of prisons. When they close prisons, the other prisons that were good before are not going to be so good anymore because they're just more people. Look at this. There's a freaking chandelier. Look at these little couches here with like the pillows and everything. This is a fucking prison. You're not going to get none of that shit in even an American prison, Canadian prison, none of that shit. Look at their fucking chandelier. Like what the hell? Okay, but they are closing the prison. So yeah, Bill to Spill, I believe, is right because if you think about it logically, if they're closing prisons, then all that population of prisoners has to go somewhere. And if you overcrowd your prisons, then the comfort level does go down, right? But anyways, let's get back to this. I'm just saying overall, if you're really gonna run away from what you think might be potential charges, the worst place to go, one of the worst places, is Mexico. You do not want to go to a Mexican jail, holding, detention center, prison. You don't.
Back in 2001 on Yahoo Personals, right? At first I was a slut and then I was a hoe. So actually I'd been on the internet for a few years, meeting people on the internet and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, Bally. Austria does have an extradition treaty with the USA, but I wasn't really sure if Austrian prisons are nice. I know that like Scandinavian ones would be really nice, like all those countries in and around that area, like Finland, Netherlands, Sweden, etc.
Stuff for a little while on AOL days.
Did she
AOL days.
did she say she was running from something? Yeah, she said she left because of Fasta Sesta. That's literally came out of her mouth. And Fasta Sesta was the whole thing to do with trafficking. So the states was cutting down on trafficking. So in 2018, a law was passed that aimed to combat online sex trafficking by holding online platforms accountable for content that facilitates or promotes such activities. So she literally ran away to Mexico.
Yeah, I was Veronica back then too. I'm telling you, Veronica's gone back since I started using Veronica when I was in AOL in the 90s. So again, if I was a bad person, Veronica would have been told on by now. So yeah, I started in Yahoo Personals. And then
Speaking of Yahoo,
I discovered a
Yahoo is still the 10 most visited site in the world, not here in like the Western world, not even in Europe. Japan is actually still using Yahoo a lot. Like yahoo.co.jp is like huge, 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 huge. So Yahoo is like still top 10.
Yahoo group
How old is she? She's like 50.
where mashed potatoes. It's X location.
Oh, I remember that. I remember those days of like AIM and ICQ where people would be like ASL, ASL, ASL.
There you go. There's some ASMR for you guys.
Monty, do you think PG has fashioned a blade out of a potato wedge yet? I don't think so, Eggy Toast. I think what she's I'm not even gonna say it. I shouldn't make this joke. It's not funny. I think what she's done is maybe made her tongue a little bit stronger.
Yeah, so Yahoo Messenger was the jam back in the day. So I started in Yahoo Personals. Then I went to Yahoo Groups. Now, when I joined Yahoo Groups, again, this is very early 2000s, okay? Very early 2000s.
Boobies, that is not right. Don't say she ended up in the infirmary. We want to support our girl, okay? All we're going to say is that she made her tongue a little bit stronger from you know what. because you know some of the ladies they're bored in there. They see a fresh new moo up cow coming in, and they're ready to have their carpets licked.
There was not a lot of online shit like that, like escorting online. So the woman who ran the site, the Yahoo group, called me one day.
I'm gross. Listen, we should go to FTW Blue God's video talking about how it is in the jails he's been in, because of course he has a lot of experience over the years, the types of shit that POS has done. So he's very familiar with the jail system, and you know you can't raw dog your steel toilet. Did you know that, Eggy? Well, Eggy, you been on the ching, so you probably been in the Bing as well. So you know you can't raw dog the steel toilet, right? What you got to do is you got to take your slippers off. You got to put them between your ass cheeks so that your ass cheeks don't touch that steel toilet. And you kind of, you get, if you know you're going to be running, you know, your shit's going to be literally slipping, sliding out of you, got to maybe tell your bunkies, maybe make a little bit of space and whatnot. There's a lot of etiquettes. It really depends on if you're in a jail or prison. Plus, it depends on which jail or prison you're in. But, you know, there is etiquette. There are hierarchies. There's a lot of stuff. Yes, for the win, Blue God is back, and he's been talking about the purple glitter situation.
Right when I started. And I didn't know shit. I really didn't. I didn't know shit. I didn't.
You know, you shouldn't raw dog a steel toilet because people don't know what's on your ass, so they find it in poor taste to raw dog a steel toilet. Not that you'll slide off, maybe you will, but they don't want stuff from your ass going on their ass, you know, because a lot of people have a lot of could have a lot of diarrhea problems, could be shitting themselves because you know they're going through withdrawals. It's not fun. In fact, Blue God talked about that, the whole withdrawals, because some people, maybe a lot of people will come in, they're withdrawing from all sorts of shit, some alcohol, some weed, some harder substances, and people will vomit, will piss themselves, and will shit themselves. And if they're not wiping up properly, which some people won't, you don't want their shit literally all over their ass, smelling like shite, literally, you know, be touching that toilet, then you're raw dogging it. It's just not cute.
Like I said, the internet was not like it is now back then, you know. I didn't know shit. And she gave me some really good advice. She was the one who told me, get you a bowl, have them put the money in the bowl. I followed that advice forever and ever. I taught it forever and ever.
Get you a bowl. Okay, I wasn't following that. Fish says, what does having the runs have to do particularly with steel toilets? Because you still don't want to raw dog a steel toilet, because people will have runs and will shit and piss themselves, because there's a lot of people in jail that are going through withdrawals because they're addicts, they're addicted, so they're doing stuff like robbing, stealing, getting themselves in all types of trouble because their end goal is to still get hooked to whatever they're hooked on, and then they end up in jail, and then they go through withdrawals, and it could be really nasty, like people, you know, staying up all night, people in the corner shivering, shaking, vomiting, pissing, shitting. It's not
Just
cute.
get a bowl.
What's up, Clippy?
This was my okay. So the whole point of that was because she was just trying to make me look bad.
All
She
right,
was
so Eliza says, I don't understand why Buddha had to even mention that you gave your OnlyFans to Monty. What does that have to do with her? She wanted to, yeah, to make BBW Veronica seem desperate, and she wanted me to seem like a hound dog, like I just go around asking for OnlyFans pictures and stuff. That's literally the whole point, to make me look as bad as possible. I'm telling you, people, there is a method to the madness.
very mad at me for coming up on panel, and she was just trying to make me look bad and lump me in with Monty. And I was, at that time, I had just started doing my own channel. I had had my channel
Hey,
1
Sassy,
week
welcome.
when all the shit went down with Monty and Buddha and all that. I had 1 week on my channel. I love you girls. Thank you, baby.
Oh, that's what she meant. My speculation over the bowl is that payment is put in a bowl, so money does not technically exchange hands or work around like when you bribe an official, you drop the money. Okay, but that doesn't work. It's kind of like how people used to sell substances, like the powder, but then the chemical formulation would slightly change, maybe from levo to dextro. So therefore, they said that it's not the same substances, except that the designer drug law came out. So it doesn't even matter if it's flour these days. If your intent was to make flour seem like an illicit substance, you still will get the same charge and possibly the same time as the actual substance. That's why the designer drug laws are out there, so that people can slightly change the formulas and get away with selling shit. Yeah, it used to work. The intent is still there. Even though you put it in a bowl, the intent to exchange monies is still there.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. So let me just. This is really important because people don't seem to understand why I did the things I did, and I'm telling you why. So this woman who owned the Yahoo group, she called me, gave me a bunch of good advice, and I went on my merry way. And one day, I just out of the blue, hold on. Thank you. Out of the blue, like there was something I needed help with. I had a question or something. And I just sent her a message and I asked her a question. And she just barked back at me. She said, if you want my time, you pay for my time. And I'm like, oh, that was a freebie. Fuck, I'm a dumbass. Like, oops, like,
Hmm.
but I did learn, at least she gave me some very good advice, right? So then,
PG has not phoned me, Egitos. I don't think she will. I'm not even sure that she can. Has anybody been to any jails in the States? Not to put you on the spotlight, but isn't your calls generally local, maybe in state? I don't know, but then you should still kind of get out of state, right? But isn't that like an extra couple of quarters to be out of state? I believe when I was near LaGuardia, I once had to use a payphone for something. And I think I was calling somewhere and I had to it was further, so I had to put in like extra quarters or something.
and next I found Craigslist. Craigslist is where I flourished. My little fat ass did so good on Craigslist. I
Right,
I
quickly.
had to really, like,
She
again,
has a number memorized. They actually do let you access your phone to take numbers out of it, because I was watching a lot of those like police channels where people get locked up for shit. And this guy was asking her, like, yeah, we'll allow you to access your phone in front of us and get the number from your contacts list so you can call people. And he was like, oh, that's great.
and I'm very ADHD, right? Like I have a hard time. Yeah, rest in peace, Craigslist. Rest in peace. Um, and Craigslist, there's no like help or community. Like at least, with that Yahoo group thing, it was like a little bit of talking, but not like
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear, Sassy. I'm glad your son is fine. Electricity's back. That really sucks.
a lot. And I just kind of felt like an outsider because of the way she spoke to me. I just felt like everything about her was fake. And I just didn't want to deal with that. So I just did my thing. I posted on there and whatever. And then I found Craigslist and I just became a straight up Craigslist girl because I'm all about networking, right? Like I love networking. I try to join as many groups as I could and stuff back then. And the girls
Old
on
internet days.
Craigslist, we communicated, right? Like one of the girls started a list. It was the honest provider list, right? Because there needed to be some kind of way for people to know who's legit, who's a faker, who's a pimp, who's a cop, who's a what, right? So she started
Okay, I
this
dig that.
list
Mm-hmm.
and she and I were friends. Who's on first? And then there was another website called Craigslist Review Board.
Oh my God.
And
See, this is where it kind of went from Craigslist review board into what Canadians have like the SERB, TERB, MERB type of thing, where they call it review boards, but it's really just telling other men which prostitutes are safe and which ones aren't safe, which one has pimps, the ratings and whatnot. Like if you've ever gone to like those sites and read this stuff, um, it's interesting, or more say you could say peculiar. But yeah, there's still tons of review boards out there. There's still tons of like sites that will list, escorting services is what they call them, or list dates or outings with women when we really know what it's all about.
they used to have parties and stuff. And so the people would get together and just hang out. Like I don't know why everyone wants it to be nefarious, because it's like again, sex work doesn't all have to be dirty. We were just people trying to be safe and built a community together. Like it is what it is. So anyways, then that website, there was a lot of problems with the owner of that website, the Craigslist review board website. The owner did eventually go to prison for espionage or something. I swear it was some crazy ass shit. Yeah, like I mean, Craigslist was just a bulletin board. It was
What?
nothing more than there was
Why the hell would you go for espionage? That seems so like 180-degree from like you hoeing and pimping, but then you get locked up for spying. Like, what the hell are you doing? And it's like political or military spying. What the hell?
no community attached to it. See, if they had had a community attached to it back then,
The owner for the Craigslist review board went to the Bing for espionage.
they could have actually made a whole bunch more money, because we all went and branched off and created our own communities, right? So this Craigslist board was very misogynistic. There was a lot of men on it that were just misogynistic. There was a lot of issues. And so the girl,
To be honest with you, you're not gonna get well-behaved men that are looking for prostitutes. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The type of guys that look for prostitutes are the guys that can't get women. Typically, sometimes you get like a guy who's decent. He's just really horny. But typically, you're gonna get guys who are fresh out of jail or prison, guys that are maladaptive to society. Those are the type of guys that go around looking for to exchange funds for favors, right?
who owned my website originally, she started it because she wanted it to be a female owned review board, Craigslist review board. That's what we started out as, right? So it
Maybe
was
rich.
literally so benign. It was never about making money. It literally was never about making money. It was about keeping each other safe. And that was it. Being happy and healthy and thriving. We were in it for the long haul. Most of those girls, I owned the website for 10 years.
It's a long time.
10 years. And most of those girls, I'm still friends with a ton of them. Like, they're on other websites now. Like, that's just the reality of sex work. You join websites, you post ad on said websites, you become a part of that community, and that's what escorting is online. And they keep saying I am a sex trafficker
Sup,
because
Ziggy?
I owned a website.
This is BBW Veronica.
So I want to explain why I wasn't. Okay. Sorry, it's fucking Cottonmouth is gonna get me every time. Okay. It's hard for me to talk about things that were so private for so long. And I know that doesn't make sense to you, but it's just the reality of it.
All right, so I think Fish had said that she did an explanation in the last stream I did. So we're really gonna get more into this, and then maybe we'll do a vote if you want to watch the FTW Blue God stuff right after this. Sh- she's saying that she's not a trafficker. While I mean, if I'm really gonna be honest with you, everything kind of points to that. She says she was just posting ads for women that were, the SEX workers. But it's like you left after a law came out where you could get punished for certain types of content and posting shit online. You went to Mexico thinking that they couldn't bring you back to the States, which was silly because Mexico is literally one of the worst countries you could ever run away to because there is a protocol for extradition. And what they will do is they'll hold you in a jail or detention center, a facility as such in Mexico. And you think Mexico is bad if you're free to walk around and do whatever. It's bad then, but much less in a freaking Mexican jail or detention center. Stupidest thing I've ever seen. Go to a rich country that has an extradition if you want to still be really stupid extradition treaty with the states like Luxembourg or Austria or Netherlands. What was the other country that has an extradition treaty that was really good? Or maybe just not go to a country that has an extradition treaty with the United States at all. How about that? I'm just saying, I'm just, putting stuff out there. Oh, they got Liechtenstein is on here, but Liechtenstein is actually a very, very small country. But it is pretty rich. I mean, I know like the royalty of Liechtenstein. I've kind of talked about them and whatnot.
Okay.
What was your explanation? You said that she explained this a lot better of what she was doing, so there's like a story to it.
Sesta, enacted in 2018, primarily altered the Communications Decency Act. Specifically, it's Section 230. Section 230 grants online platforms immunity from liability from user-generated content. Okay? So all these people on here saying that I was a sex trafficker because I allowed women to post ads on my website. It was legal up until Fosta Sesta. Like I said, I had lawyers just in case because they were fucking with Backpage, right?
Yeah, the laws changed because people were very upset with the whole back pages thing and the trafficking that was happening, which is happening again. There is now a rise in trafficking. What's that group that like targets minors? I forgot what it's called. But they like minors do like the grossest stuff. Like I can't even say it on the stream. It's really sick. So trigger warning. If somebody tells me the name of that group, then I'll say yay or nay. But there's this group that goes around and does it, and people are now scared because you get a security system. You have multiple locks on your door. You walk your children to school, but literally in one click, somebody could be in your child's bedroom talking to them because of they're on their phone. So now it's like really really scary. A lot of policing authorities in the States and Canada are aware of this one specific group that has maimed kids by, extorting them, doing all sorts of like really super weird shit. And it could be even other minors doing it to minors, people who just turned 18 or 19 or 20 doing it to minors. It's all sorts of really sick stuff, like 15-year-olds doing it to 13-year-olds, 13-year-olds doing it to 15-year-olds. If I can really remember the name of that new group that's out there. So just be aware of this stuff. But the law changed with Fosta Sesta because the community had a pushback about what was happening. In fact, this kind of also hits home because Kiwi Farms still exists because there's a law where, the host is not responsible for what the posters post, and that's why the farms has been able to get away with what they're doing because whoever is hosting the site isn't responsible for what the people on the site are posting. So there you go. But FASTA says to change that law when it comes to sex services and whatnot.
And Backpage had the money to pay the lawyers to fight for our rights as website owners. I did not. Like, I just didn't. I was a single entity, sole proprietorship running website owner. We were just a small little community, a blip in the radar, right? I tried to go national a few times. So here's what I was trying to do was make it like an MLM, right? So you go
Jesus.
to a market and you find a girl there who wants to start a review board for her area. So she starts a review board. Then they start throwing monthly parties. They
Probably
build a
fish.
community. Everybody's safe and everyone's happy. I know, terrible MLM idea, right? Fucking A. So dumb. But you can't force a community. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just force it to happen. So it has to happen organically. It's gonna have. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, right? So we tried. Like one of the girls that was my mod, she liked to travel to the Dakotas, I believe, and she started one out there. And we couldn't, no matter what we did, we couldn't get them oil rig motherfuckers to get on there at all. Like, you can't force a community. They have to want to be a part of a community. And with
So you guys wanted the riggers to get on there. I mean, riggers, if you don't know, make really good money. There's a thing where they call them like rig pigs because and that industry or area where there's a lot of riggers because there's like 18-year-old riggers making six figures a year. They don't know what to do with all this money where you just come out of high school, you get lucky, you get hired, maybe you work yourself up, you're making six figures a year at 18 years old and you want to blow your money. And unfortunately, some of these young, men and women blow their money on substances, they get hooked. And now we have a problem in the local community. So a lot of these like rig guys, They make good money, but then tomorrow your job could just go away. Maybe the company's like downsizing or changing or doing something. You could easily get hurt because it's a dangerous job. Um, Sunshine Country Chickens, you weren't banned, so you didn't need to do another name, but it's all good. You're not banned at all. But yeah, rig pigs getting online. Well, do they have to go online? I mean, certain areas they're not used to like the internet stuff, and if you have enough money, you just go get somebody local because you're making like well into the six figures in a year. Just
Sex
saying.
work, not everyone wants to be a part of a kumbaya community. Some people want dirty hoe work. You know what I mean? Like, I can't force them to want ethical whoring. Ethical whoring
Is there such a thing as ethical whoring? I love when people come up with these like buzz terms and words and try and change it up. It's like a garbage man is now a sanitary technician. I'm like, you take out the fucking garbage. You're a sanitary engineer. What kind of which engineering school did you go to?
is a very real thing. Okay, what are we doing now? Avon, but pussy, straight up, straight up. It was a good idea. It
Okay,
really
honestly, is there gonna be a such a thing as ethical whoring? This is what I want to know because this just makes me laugh because it's such a juxtaposition to say ethical and whoring. Because was whoring ever ethical? Was it? What's happening behind her? I think she has been doing her best to hide her background. She still doesn't want anybody to know where she lives or yeah, she doesn't want anybody to know where she lives or her actual true name, which like I said, very likely not Veronica is her real name.
was. And like I said, the problem is I didn't have anyone helping me. It was really just me. And if anyone's ever ran a website with 50,000 members, people are like, where'd the money go? I paid $400 a month just for website hosting. It was an over
That's too
18
much.
adult website. I had to pay a fuck ton of money for everything. I had to pay a fuck ton of money for credit card processing. I got kicked out of PayPal because PayPal was totally fine with taking those girls' money for advertising up until one of the girls did a chargeback.
Oopsie.
And then all of a sudden, my ass is banned and never allowed on PayPal again. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it wasn't the chargeback why you got banned on PayPal in that sense. It was a chargeback, but it wasn't. It was a chargeback that initiated an investigation that saw that you were using PayPal as an in between to you know, post ads for hoes. So therefore PayPal's like F no, because there is a standard and there are policies where certain payment providers do not want to be associated with anything that is illegal at certain levels. Kind of how like banks are federal, so certain things you can't run through banks because it's not yet like legal. Like the weed thing, where people are like, I can't get a bank to, take my money or my transactions because there's proceeds from weed. And at the federal level, weed is still illegal. It's like that. So it was the chargeback, but it wasn't the chargeback in the sense that they're gonna screw with you. They just saw that your transactions were hoeing transactions and they weren't gonna mess with that.
Right now, the stupid shit I had to deal with. But like I said, this was a million years ago now. It was a million years ago. And if I could go back, I would have had a team. I would have had a team. A team. I would have done it right. But I was too scared because, again, it was so much personal information. I don't know how to explain to you having that kind of information is scary to have. And if that's, oh, I'm Heidi Fleiss. No, I could have been Heidi Fleiss. I was fucking handed Heidi Fleiss's life on a platter. I could have gone to LA.
Wait a
I could have
second.
done the Playboy hooker thing. I could have made a few $1 million, retired to the Bahamas. And do you know how
Okay, if you don't know who Heidi Fleiss is, Heidi Fleiss is an American former madame. So if you don't know what a madame is, then this you're in the wrong place, because we're talking about hoes and hoeing and pimps here. Okay, so you're in the wrong place. So she ran an upscale prostitution ring in L.A. and is often referred to as a Hollywood madame. And she also worked as a columnist and was a television personality regularly featured in the 1990s American media. She's 59 years old. So, pretty much, actors, musicians, athletes, anybody in sports or entertainment, businessmen would pretty much get their high class escorts or prosties from Heidi Fleiss.
many times a day I wish I had done it? I wish I had done it. I had so many opportunities in life, but I was so scared. I am so scared of going to jail or doing anything to whatever. I am so paranoid. You guys think I'm weird. I am fucking super paranoid about everything. Like laws and shit. I try to do everything by the book as much as possible. Like always have, always will. And literally,
She did say she could have been in Playboy like Heidi Fleiss, because Heidi Fleiss was associated with stuff like that. Heidi Fleiss is, in fact, her occupation, Heidi Fleiss, was a procurer. You mean you're procuring hoes? That's a very, what's the term for like when something's a bad thing, but you make it seem like a good thing? A euphemism, right? Right, that's what it is. It's a euphemism, calling yourself a procurer. Are you procuring punani? Like, why would you call it that? A procurer. I'm like, you get hoes to screw, to bang, and you get paid from it. Why are you calling yourself a procurer for?
how I ran a website for 10 years without going to jail was again, I was covered under,
Yeah, Fish,
I'll
you're
read it
right.
again. I was covered under liability for content related to sex trafficking from, hold on. Oh, the section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. And again, so you want to know what kind of lawyers I had at that time on my website. We had criminal attorneys and constitutional lawyers because freedom of
Okay, Cypher, you're really making me laugh here. Yeah, like coming up with like these names, like a garbage man is a sanitary technician or sanitary engineer. You know what? When I was in New York, I knew this one guy. I told some of the story about the train. Remember, we were coming from New Haven, Connecticut into New York City, and he was opening a bottle of alcohol on the train, which is like the worst thing you could ever do, because multiple laws come into play. Because one, you're on a train, so you are fucking screwed at the federal level. Having the alcohol on the train and drinking it, oh my god, that guy was so screwed if he ever got caught. And two, we're going across state lines. I'm like, why would you do something so stupid? And I told the dude, don't do that. We're going across state lines. We're going from Connecticut to New York, and we're on a train. You are screwed if they ever catch you. It's like the same how on the Greyhound buses they tell you not to smoke because you're so screwed because the bus goes to different states. Don't freaking do it. It's kind of like that. Oh my, like, and this one guy, he was a garbage man, but he would tell the ladies he's like a sanitary engineer. And it would make me die of laughter because he's trying to like date and or hook up. I think mostly hook up is what he's trying to do. And he would always be like, yeah, I'm going on this date. We're meeting in New York City in Manhattan, you know, on 40th, or was it 42nd where the Port Authority is? I keep forgetting. I think it's 42nd, but don't quote me. Or 32nd. I don't know. Somebody tell me, where's the Port Authority again in New York? Is it like 42nd or 32nd? But he would tell these ladies that he was a sanitary engineer. And I'm like, dude, aren't you like a garbage man? It's kind of like that.
speech used to be a constitutional right. It is your right to post your own ad on a website. Period. Period. I had sex trafficking insurance. But that's the whole point. My website. Okay. We're going to get into the deeper parts of it when we watch Azria, because we worked with the sex workers outreach project, and we worked with a bunch of them. Like, I don't know how else to explain to you that if I was trafficking the people that were involved in my community, I don't want them coming forward.
She looks
So
good
I
for
need
50.
you all to understand that my
That's if you believe that she's 50. I don't know what to believe, because it's not like she's gonna share any information, right? She just doesn't want her identity to believe, so she's taking a lot of steps to do that. Which, I mean, I don't blame her on a lot of levels, because once people get your information, then they can do all sorts of like devious stuff to you. So I would say that she's not 50. I would say she's younger than that, maybe a whole hell of a lot younger. I don't know, but I wouldn't believe that she's 50. I think she's just trying to conceal herself. But that's just my humble opinion. She's saying she's 50. Do I believe it? No, but we're just gonna go with that.
community was an all voluntary community. Okay. And again, so when I originally got the website, was because the girl who owned it, she started a haircutting business, a bikini haircutting business. Okay. So she wanted to go do that, and she didn't want to do the board no more. So what did I do? I was like, okay. And they were like, so she wanted to sell it. She sold it for $2,500. And one of the guys on the website bought the website for $2,500 to give to the person that they felt, that the community felt could run the board with the integrity
Hmm.
that we had up to that point, right?
I guess you could have integrity when you're selling some pum pum, some ass. I guess so, because you could either be grimy, where you rob, you cheat, you steal your client from your clients, or you could just be honest. This is what you're selling. You're selling some ass, per 15 minutes, per half an hour, per hour and a half, or maybe a whole experience for the night. And either they pay or they don't pay. If they pay, here's a set rate, and you'll be honest about it. Some people will roll their clients, cheat, steal. In fact, I was hearing this news story. I think it was in Las Vegas. It was a couple of days ago, how this prosti, I think she got into a shootout or something, because I do watch certain channels about like Las Vegas life, and they were talking about this woman was trying to steal from one of her clients, and then a gunfight broke out, and this and that and this and that.
Because this is the part, everyone's like, you should have sold it, you should have done this, you did. It's about integrity. And I know people don't understand integrity when they don't have any. We had to keep everything so on the up and up, like you just don't understand. Anyways, so they chose me. Anyone could have done it. Anyone. I was given the opportunity to do something with it. And I did for 10 years. I did real good for 10 years. So, vaginal steaming, we went to hooker conventions.
What?
We did it. People want to know where the money went.
Okay. How did that even work? You have a hooker convention where, in like Nevada? I guess it would be in Nevada, right? And who's having their pum pum steamed? I mean, has anyone actually ever done this? like you steam your shit. It's called yoni steaming, or is it yoni? Like the YONI. Okay, vaginal steaming, how it works, benefits, and safety. So, vaginal steaming is an age-old natural remedy said to cleanse the vajayjay and uterus, regulate menstruation and ease period stuff. It's called yoni steaming. Okay, I mean, cool.
We went to conventions. We did fundraising for people. We were like, I don't know why you don't understand that some people do things for the greater good. I made enough money to survive. I never even saved money for my future. Everything went into the website. It went into outreach. It went into
Okay, now this is where she's screwing up. Why would anybody believe that you put every I can get as a business perspective, you put your money back into a business because most businesses don't start to make profit after 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 years. If you don't see profit after 5, 6 years, you're done. Maybe earlier if there's other signs and factors because it can be quite nuanced. But what would you say something like this? Like you're not making any money. Then what was the point of the fucking business? Like this is the shit that pisses me off when people say this shit as if everybody's stupid. So you're running a business, you're saying you're toiling away multiple hours a week, multiple hours a day, but you aren't making any money from it. Like, come on.
that some people do things for the greater good. I made enough money to
You made a hoeing site for the greater good? That's an oxymoron.
fundraising for people. We were like, I don't know why you don't understand that some people do things for the greater good. I made enough money to survive. I never even saved money for my future. Everything went into the website. It went into outreach. It went into into the women on the website. It went into childcare for people when they needed it. It went into the bail to help people get out of jail. It went to money to get people into rehab. That money went to everybody. And it's very hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ziggy. Just be honest about it. I'm like, is it people are gonna come at you? If people are gonna come at you, they were gonna come at you in the first place. But just be honest that yeah, you were making money, and you were making money off women selling their ass, and that's it. End of it. Like, why go around talking about like you're a philanthropist? This is for the greater good of society. Like, I don't get that. Like, I guess she has to cover it up. Maybe somebody came in the room, wants to talk to her or something. But this is what I don't get is like spinning it like this and making it seem as if you weren't, hoeing out women and making money off of it. Just say you did because one of the people accusing you was doing the same shit. And this is the whole hypocrisy and irony of the things. Like, person accusing you is doing the same fucking shit. Like, is there a horocracy, a hierarchy here?
On YouTube. And while I love when the queen posts, and I'm not trying to be a snitch,
Ridiculous. All right, should we watch the FTW Blue God? She made enough money to retire in Mexico. Yeah, she was in Mexico and whatnot and doing her thing. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do this. I will do the FTW Blue God thing because I think that's kind of. We'll maybe come back to this after a while. But like I said, man, this is what I'm saying is like you're making it seem like this is for the greater good. It was for this. Just say you was making money off hoes. That's what you was doing, and you're keeping your identity a certain way because you don't want anybody to know who you are, and that's why you ran away when Fasta Sesta came about. Like, I don't get. Okay, so FTW Blue God. So you all guys all know who this piece of shit is, right? So here we go.
These motherfuckers, I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't know what they're blowing up, but they got the deer fucking running and shit.
Yeah, like, well, how is it for the greater good?
Let's see if these guys are still over here running.
Right, Blue Eyes?
It's fucking pure terror because I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh. The title of this?
So high, I thought I saw a deer.
Yeah. Free purple glitter.
There they go.
Free that bish.
I know, man. They're doing crazy shit up there, bro. But listen,
world girl talk.
All you got to know in your mind is that nothing bad's going to happen to you if you just... Oh, it's another one. Yeah, you hear that? Listen, we'll all hide from it together. I'm with you guys, man. Look, there's your brother. I'm with you guys. Don't be scared of me.
Mm-hmm. So I guess this is when the
No,
fireworks.
don't run. This is why
Wait a
you got.
second. Isn't it like a holiday for you guys? It's Memorial Day, right? Don't some of you guys have the holiday on this Monday? Because last week Monday it was Victoria Day holiday for us in Canada. We do remember our troops, but we do it more on November the 11th. I know you guys will do it now to remember the troops. In fact, kind of paid a lot of homage to fallen soldiers and whatnot because I do respect that people gave their lives for the greater good of North America. So I will always respect and honor and cherish our troops. So just remember that.
Guys always get run over. Look what you do. You're running right towards the bombs. No, stay over here.
Fireworks.
You stay over here.
Well,
You
technically,
see your stupid
it
ass
is
brothers running. Look, he's gonna follow
technically
me
a
too.
mini BOMB.
Bro, they're blowing
Really
shit up
gonna be
over
honest.
there. All right, go with it. Go with it, man. That's your problem. That's your fucking problem. You want to go get involved in that shit, man. Listen, I'm not getting involved in that.
So
I'm
this
good,
is
man.
for the win, Blue God. He's still
But yo,
making
free
content.
purple glitter, man. Free purple glitter, because for you guys to take it to that level with her, come on, man. You know she's fucked up in the head. You know she's fucked up in the head, but you should have just let it ride. That was enough of a little slap on the wrist for her. But it's I mean, think of that shit. They just fucking randomly start cracking up. Like these bitches really got fucking purple glitter locked the fuck up, bro. Like y'all really
Oh
doing
boy.
too much, man.
Of course you
And
think this is funny.
she's in there right now. It's a nice 59 degrees at all times. Oh, that's what's so chilling about county jail. It's
All right, maybe it was a nice 59 at maybe your jail, but each jail it can be different. Like shit, isn't like the AC in and out of certain places like they don't even have AC and you're just boiling in there?
especially me. I'd be kicking heroin in there, Xanax, fucking Klonopin, fentanyl, all the fucking drugs I kicked in county jail, and normal people are cold. So when you're kicking drugs, oh, you're fucking freezing in there. First thing I need in county jail is thermals. I need socks.
Yes, why are we watching? Because he's gonna talk about certain things. I'm not condoning his behavior, nor will I ever condone it. In fact, I'm one of the few people that called out his behavior when it was happening. Like Horror World was bringing attention to it, and so was I. So I'm not condoning his behavior. I will say that he's a piece of shit for doing what he's doing. And you're right, he did beat up his baby mama and was filming her like spoiled over on like the counter table and all sorts of shit. Was making up crazy shit about like Luxie and how he was using Luxie to get him out of the Bing, meet up with her, and stay at her place. And they were doing the horizontal mumbo until he kind of wanted to do his own thing. This I've heard this story. Not the first time I heard a story where a person, fairly well-to-do person, talks to a guy that's in jail or prison and then brings that dude to their place for that dude to live with them, and it has never gone well. I don't understand, why would you ever do that? These guys were in jail or prison for a reason, and what they'll talk to multiple ladies to try and literally farm a place for them to stay and live at, and you are one of multiple ladies they're doing it to because they got all day, they don't gotta work. They got all day, all they do is sleep, and then they wake up, message you, try and create a relationship. Is PG in jail? PG is in jail. Did he use Lux? He did. Yeah, but this one lady, oh my God, she ruined her life. She met this guy. They started talking. As soon as he's out of jail, he started living with her, got her pregnant, and it was hell ever since because all he did was like cheat on her, make another kid, cheat on her, get her locked up, almost let her lose her career because what she didn't know on what I found out is that if you work with kids and you get charged with something, like the very next day, practically, there's a message sent to your employer saying that you're charged with something. And as soon as she arrived to work the next morning, her employer brought her into a room and she had to explain the situation. I believe they still allowed her to work because of how well she explained it, but I'm not really sure what their protocol is. But that's how I found out that if you do work with vulnerable sectors such as kids or older people, like there is a practically instant report that comes on out and on when you get charged with something.
Preferably will preferably wool socks and fucking thermal bottoms and thermal tops, man. Oh, she's freezing her fucking ass off in there. And despite what anyone wants to say, if she doesn't know it, she knows it by now. If you don't know me by now. If you don't know by now, Purple Glitter, there's a withdrawal with weed. Well, you're finding out right about now, bro. It's fucking cold as fuck in there. Her back and her bones are going to be hurting. She's going to have more heightened anxiety. Oh,
yeah, I think
so
she's
chilling
having
that you
a good
can't
time.
eat, you can't sleep, and now she's in that traumatic environment. I'm telling you, bro, that shit is. I mean, where I've been is there's males and it's violent, more violent for the women. You know, maybe there's one fight a month, but there's secret ass whoopings in cells. Women often they whip the other women with a bra because they give you a state issued sports bra and state issued granny panties and a jumpsuit. So that's what she's gonna get. That, and she's in a rich county, so she'll probably get like these orange ghetto Crocs. So she has her Crocs on. A lot of times they let you keep your socks.
Oh boy.
Granny panties, state issued sports bra, and a jumpsuit. And those jumpsuits are fucking uncomfortable, man. It's cold as hell in there, and it's like wearing like a tarp. It's all rough and uncomfortable. Hopefully somebody held her down and gave her some thermals and sweatpants.
Yeah, has anybody put in anything on Purple Glitter's books? Because he actually did say in this one video that somebody did put some money on his books. I wonder who that was. Maybe somebody who got a windfall from their mom. Maybe something. You never know, because there is a lot to FTW Blue God story that you just don't know about. If you wanna know more, maybe talk to Soil, scary old internet lady, or who else was it? Something. A lot of the ladies that came out of the whole harassment thing with Jessica Miska, like when Jessica Miska wouldn't let you leave and they were harassing people and whatnot. See you later, Eggy. Have a good one.
Thermal top.
Maybe that's
a lot
what
of
he's
times the women
into.
will wear a big t-shirt over that. Yeah, right now she's kicking weed. And who knows what medication she's secretly been on? I don't know about her like that. But I would assume a crazy bitch like that is on medication. And if you're on benzos, they ain't giving you. Look, this deer isn't even running. He's just stuck. That's all right. I'm invisible. I'm not going to hurt you. I was talking to your boys over there, and these motherfuckers started. You heard the explosions before, right? You heard it. Yeah. We both heard it. And these your homeboys, these bitch ass niggas start running towards the fucking explosion. You know what I mean? I was trying to talk to him. I was like, yo, don't go that way. And this is why you guys always get into trouble, because you.
What's up, Soil? How's it going? I thought like you would come around just about the whole situation with Kayla Marie and you guys, and what happened with Jessica Messica, and when you guys wanted to leave, and the harassment that happened with you guys, which was extremely unfortunate.
You freeze up. You're not really frozen up. You're just chilling. But you freeze up in front of a car, or now you're running towards explosions. Like, I try to talk to you. Oh, look at your little horns coming in. But don't get any ideas, bro. I'm friendly with you, but if you try to ram me, you're gonna have problems. Okay, so let's just be calm.
Wait a second.
Don't panic on me. You know what I mean? Don't panic on me.
Dear.
All right, I'll see you later, man.
Yeah, Ziggy's right. BP doesn't respond well to medication, so you can medicate borderlines as much as you want, but not responsive well enough. I think it's cognitive behavioral treatments will work well to an effect. It really does depend on a whole host of other factors. But yeah, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, seems to be working. Sup, Target Paw?
See you later. Nice talking to you. But poor Purple Glitter. So she's kicking weed. She's kicking whatever psych med she's on now. If you're on like depression medication or if you're on Suboxone, you can get that, but they have to verify it with your pharmacy. And that could take anywhere between, 2 days to 2 weeks. They have to verify all your prescriptions. You can't just go in there and be like, I'm on this, this, and this. And fucking they're going to give that to you. They got to verify the shit with your pharmacist. And then she'll get her meds. But if you're kicking weed, you're not getting anything. If you're kicking any type of benzo, some counties, they'll give you Valium for like 2 days in intake before you hit the main line. So right now, Purple Glitter is in the intake unit. So
this is what I'm saying, that there's a lot of specific things. Like if it's your first time in jail, there's a lot of rules that you just might not know about, and kind of etiquette and courtesy and whatnot.
She goes to her local police precinct, right, and turns herself in. That's why in the mugshot she has her civilian clothes on, because she's at the precinct, right?
Gotcha.
So from there, they put you in a holding cell. They do your paperwork. It takes 1 hour, 4 hours. Then they drive your ass to the county. You got to get strips. Oh, you guys aren't. You haven't even. She's been strip searched how many times so far? At least 3 times by now. She's been strip searched. So I wonder how she's gonna process that. You got to bust that shit open for him and everything. You got to bend down and cough. Because
yeah, he didn't know about that. Yeah, you do gotta bend over and cough, spread your cheeks.
If you got something up your ass and you cough, it shoots out like a fucking missile. And women, man, there's a lot of drugs in intake.
Not necessarily. If you clench your sphincter muscles, it won't shoot out when you cough. Like, some people got really strong, sphincter muscles out there. They'll hold that anything
in the female unit, because bitches be stuffing all kinds of shit in their pussies, man. Them female intake units be jumping off. But I have a feeling that Purple Glitter is in a nice area. And mostly she's going to be in isolation. She's going to be by herself. If she's not in a jumping county where there's a bunch of like black bitches running around and people getting beat up.
Oh, whoa. What's with the casual racism, Mr. FTW Blue God? Especially that you were with a big, beautiful black woman that got you out of jail, put you up in her apartment in New York City, gave you monies, and then you started, doing your crazy shit, writing her letters, wanting, keys to her place, while you're not giving her, the penis that she wanted. Listen, Blue God, you can't be saying shit like that.
Let's say none of that is happening, right? And she's in a super nice jail. There's still violence in there. There's still SA in there. People still get robbed. It's just like on a lower key level. But she's sitting in that cell by herself. And just looking around that cell is traumatizing, man. That fucking toilet that's connected to the sink. Oh, those walls.
Yeah, I think isn't that foul? Like when the toilet's connected to the same sink water, even though there most likely, very likely is like a valve so that there isn't any backflow, or there should be. But people get really weirded out when I've heard this one story where this guy did it like jail style in somebody's bathroom where the same water line. It was totally visible, and it ran both to like the sink and the toilet, and people were like, that looks nasty. It does look nasty when you have the same water line to like the sink and the bathroom, even though there isn't contamination. It just looks wrong, right?
Fucking like peach color and that white. Oh, but it's really something out of a fucking nightmare, man. It's something as she's right now, she's starring in her own personal psychological survival horror, right? She's starring in her own personal psychological survival horror movie. And you know, there's the food in there. And I could eat almost anything, right? I can, will, and do eat almost anything. And the jail food has a specific, like, dead, weird smell to it. I can't even say that it tastes nasty. It's worse than nasty, because if it tasted nasty, at least it has a taste to it. It's like negative taste. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. There's nothing, there's no taste there. So she's kicking the weed, she's kicking whatever pill she's on until they get her straightened out or she detoxes. She gets woken up at 6 a.m. And here's the other, okay, so you're sitting in the cell, you got the whole psychological horror film of that. You got the psychological horror film.
100% Ziggy, especially if it's your first time and you're not used to the atmosphere and the food is just really nasty, you're gonna lose weight. Kind of like how the same thing how Dragon Lord Frodo lost weight when he was in there for like 2 months.
Of being in a cell with complete strangers.
Take care.
And for hours and hours, and they're talking to you, they're not talking to you. It's so fucking weird. You got to pee in front of them, you got to shit in front of them. She has to learn the jail rules and how to shit. You take off your slippers and you put the slippers on the toilet, because if you go raw, they call that silver surfing. You know how the
Do not silver surf the steel toilets. Okay, you take your slippers off or your shoes and you put them on the toilet. So your bare ass ain't touching it, okay? These are vital rules for jail.
Toilet is like silver. They call that shit. So
okay, let's hear it. Listen.
They call that slippers in front of them. She has to learn the jail rules and how to shit. You take off your slippers and you put the slippers on the toilet, because if you go raw, they call that silver surfing. You know how the toilet is like silver? They call that shit. So and you get beat up if you don't take a shower. Inmates are super nosy. They know who showers.
Yeah, because you don't want no nasty smelling ass stinking up your crib. That's your jail cell, especially when you got maybe 2 people in a cell, sometimes 4, like, you know, 2 beds on one wall, 2 beds on the other wall.
Bitches know who's on their period. Bitches know whose pussy stinks. And female fucking jails are catty as fuck, bro. They're catty as fuck. They be saving their period panties and fucking saving them until they're like wiffle balls.
Yo.
Like these crusty wiffle balls, and they be throwing them at each other, stabbing each other with pencils, all kinds of shit. So anyway, she has a psychological horror film.
Why is he so specific with the wiffle ball shit? Like, you really having your panties looking like wiffle balls? I had to look that shit up.
Of being in the cell, of being in the county, of having been strip searched. He's looking at those dull drab colors. She's coming off drugs. She's cold. It's always a solid 59 degrees in there. There's a constant wind blowing in from this vent in your cell. So a lot of inmates wet toilet paper and smack it against the vent.
Yeah,
in order to cover up the vent. All night you're hearing bitches talking in the cells next to you and in the cell above you. And bitches be talking all night. Because I know if men do, I know the females be talking all night through the vent, yelling out the window at each other. It's like a sleepover party 24/7, man. 24/7 sleepover party. People are yelling, yo, motherfucker, I need a soup. It's 2 a.m. People are rapping. You know, people are talking. People are getting challenged. It's it's nonstop fucking insanity. So you're hearing that all night.
Yeah, it's like jail is like a whole nother ecosystem where there's a lot of people with predatory manipulative behaviors that will prey on you, especially when it's your first time. Like, there's just certain things you don't do, you shouldn't do, especially when, you know, people try and feel you out. Like I was watching Fresh Out with Big Herc, and he's talking about how never let a guy coax you into looking at like skin books with him because he's trying to feel you out. Well, he's trying to feel something else, but don't ever do that. It's a complete setup.
And at 6 o'clock in the morning, the door just clicks. This is how fucked up it is. At 6 in the morning, that door just clicks. You'll hear it come down the hallway. Clah, 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 clah. And that's all of the cell doors unlocking at 6 in the morning. You got to jump off your bed, or you got to coordinate with your bunkie who's going to get the door in the morning, right? Let's say there's an old man on the bottom bunk and you're on the top bunk. You got to get it because he's too old to get it. You got to jump out there. You do like 2 steps and you slide on your socks to get to the door, and you just tap the door open, and then you won't get locked in. If you don't jump out, you're going to get locked in and you're not going to eat. So there's that. So imagine you can't sleep. You're trying to sleep. You're in a fucked up environment. You have no idea what time it is. You have no watch, no set. You have no idea unless you can look out your cell door and see what time is it. You have no. Now later on, as you've been there for a while, you're gonna know when this person comes in, it's this time. When this happens, you know what I mean. You'll start knowing that. But she has no idea what time it is. You're trying to sleep, and then all of a sudden, and you gotta jump out the bed and get that shit, or else you're locked the fuck in. Only to be served fucking nasty ass food at 6 a.m. And then after everyone eats, they lock everybody back in, and most people go right back to sleep. So
yeah, I totally feel that. Like, yeah, you get up 6 a.m. for your chow, your breakfast, and then a lot of people go back to sleep because they ain't got shit to do. Some people are tired. Maybe you got a celly that's just like, in withdrawal. They're up all night. They're trying to talk to you when you're not trying to talk to them, or they're just talking to their goddamn self, or maybe to the wall, and that shit just keeps you up all night.
You got all this noise at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then it's dead. The only time it's really quiet in county jail, or well, as quiet as it can be, is between like 7 and 10 a.m. Everyone just fucking goes to sleep. Some people will be out there watching TV and being relatively quiet, but most people they're up all night partying. So after breakfast, they go to sleep. Most people wake up at lunchtime. So lunch will be like 11 or 12. And then she'll get rec. It depends on the jail. If you have outdoor rec, it's at different times, but most likely because she's in a county, she has just a rec deck. So it's like a little half of a gym that has a basketball court, and that's it. You might have one basketball, you might have one handball, and pull-up bars. And that's it. So bitches will go out there and they'll talk and they'll sell drugs and shit and just walk the perimeter of the basketball court in order to get exercise. I can't
even tell you how much like videos I've seen where prison guards are locked up. In fact, this one video I saw where this one person was saying, I think she was higher rank prison guard, and she's like, you don't know how much people come in and in here, not in and out, but in and in, where they're first in as a prison guard doing their job, taking care of prisoners. Then next thing you know, they're actually in the prison scrubs. So they're in and in because they did something, they fucked up. They let a prisoner or multiple prisoners talk them into smuggling contraband. And then next thing you know, they're not guarding the prisoners anymore. They're just one of the prisoners.
And then you eat dinner. You eat dinner at like, I think like, maybe like 4 or 5. But the fucked up part is, okay, you eat dinner, whatever. It's all disgusting. You have to, whatever it is, let's say you have nothing but the steak tray and they give you a bologna and cheese sandwich for dinner, right? You have to save the bread or save the bologna and cheese for nighttime, bro, because they feed you at, let's say, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You don't get fed again until 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? So that's when it gets desperate, man. That's when motherfuckers are sucking dick for soup. And in her case, they'll be licking pussy for soup.
I told you her tongue game would get strong. All right, so what they doing for soup? Let's hear this again.
At, let's say, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't get fed again until 6 in the morning. You know what I mean? So that's when it gets desperate, man. That's when motherfuckers are sucking dick for soup. And in her case, they'll be licking pussy for soup. And doing all kinds of shit. So hopefully Purple Glitter isn't in a rough area where bitches are gonna essay her and beat her up. And that's another thing. Rumors go wild. And I can especially, I can imagine in a female prison, if she gets labeled a snitch, she doesn't know. She could say, it's like walking a minefield when you go out there. You could look at somebody wrong and they want to attack you. You could bump into somebody. You could say anything. You never know what's going to set people off. People are in there. People lost their kids. People lost their houses. People are, their husbands broke up with them. People are going through all kinds of crazy shit, and they're trying to survive too. So people just lose it and pop off. Now, hopefully she isn't so fucking dumb that during intake, like if you say during intake and they say, well, do you want to hurt yourself or others, or do you hear voice?
I don't know. I this is the part where I kind of like disagree with like going to like SAG or on the and the loony area of the prison, for lack of a better word. I kind of disagree with him here. I think it might be better for her, especially when it's your first time and you really don't want to go into,
People are going through all kinds of
main
crazy
yard
shit,
and
and they're
shit
trying
like
to
that.
survive too. So people just lose it and pop off. Now, hopefully, she isn't so fucking dumb that during intake, like if you say during intake and they say, well, do you want to hurt yourself or others, or do you hear voices? If she answers yes to any of those, they're gonna put her ass in the psych unit, man.
I
So
think it would
hopefully
be
she's
better
smart
for
enough
her.
in order to act, semi-normal, so they don't put her ass in the psych unit. Or if you say that
I think she is kind of probably is scared and whatnot. Maybe she did go to psych. Who knows? I guess we'll find out.
to any of those, they're gonna put her ass in the psych unit, man. So hopefully she's smart enough in order to act, semi-normal, so they don't put her ass in the psych unit. Or if you say that you want to, or admit that you even had a thought about hurting yourself or hurting anyone else, they put you in a turtle suit. It's like this green jumper, so you have no underwear, no socks, no bra, just this green jumper, and they put you in a cell with either a glass door or a camera
That,
24/7,
that
and then a guard has to come by every 15 minutes, and they write down like what you did, like inmate laying down.
Yeah, has anybody ever seen the turtle suit? Like you'll even get a helmet. I can't even call it a helmet, but it's kind of like a helmet. So if you are trying to bang your head against things, it'll stop you. But it literally is green for the most part. Some might be yellow, some might be blue, some purple. But it's a suit, and you don't have bra or underwear because you could use those to put around your neck and other areas if you're catching on. So this is why what he's saying makes a lot of sense, that you wouldn't have a bra or underwear on because you could use those to do something to yourself.
Inmates circling their cell, like they make sure that you're alive. Literally every 15 minutes, there's a guard there. So hopefully she isn't that dumb to where she ended up in a fucking psych unit. Because even if you are crazy, you're better off just going to the main line.
I agree. I disagree. I think she's better off going to a psych unit rather than the main line. The main line can be scary for somebody like her that's already has a maladaptive personality and attitude. It would people would kind of pick on her. Plus, once again, it's her first time. So I would say the opposite. It's better that she goes to the psych unit.
In the main line, at least when you go outside to eat, when you go outside for rec, and I don't like being around people, but even me, like, you get to talk to people, you get to be around people. It breaks the monotony of being locked in that fucking cell. And you have all kinds of bad, weird fucking cellmates that masturbate while you're in the cell with them, cellmates that shit and don't flush. There's a whole ritual to taking a shit in prison. And in the middle of the night, things get mickey and tricky. Some people don't want you pissing or shitting in the middle of the night because you're in that cell, you're in a hollow chamber, and you flush that toilet. Man, these toilets are almost impossible to clog. You press that button on that
and it makes a fucking lot of noise. So 4 or 5 cellies over can hear that shit when that flushes. You ever flush like at an airport or on a plane, and how like crazy that shit is? Think of that like multiple times louder.
fucking Silver Surfer, man. That shit is like a jet engine. So anytime you pee, when you brush your teeth, you have to spit the foam into the toilet and then press the button and flush it out. And she doesn't know any of this. She doesn't know, like, if she's on the top bunk, you can't step on the bottom bunk to get up there. You got to pull yourself the fuck up.
Yeah, don't be stepping on people's beds. Big no in the Bing. Do not do it. It's highly disrespectful, and people can and have and will get shanked for that.
Then you guys have to agree. And oh my God, the most chilling part, the lights are on 24/7. You could quote unquote turn on your light, right? But all that did was make the light brighter. When you turn off the light, it's like this dim yellow that's on 24/7. And if you're on that top bunk, that light is burning into your fucking soul all night and all day. The only thing to do is to make a cocoon in order to survive it. And that's one of the things that I'm institutionalized with, because I still make a cocoon on the outside. I make a cocoon all the time. I've been laying in bed and I put the covers over my head.
Oh my God.
And that's from being in jail.
A lot of people are institutionalized in their attitude, behaviors, thought process.
I heard you, man. Like, just write the bitch a letter. Write the bitch a letter and be real. Just be like, tell her how you feel. You don't have, why attack her while she's down? You know what I mean? She's in a fucked up, so you guys don't know how fucked up it is, bro. It's fucked up. And this is going to make her, at the end of the day, the crazy part is that this is going to make her a stronger person. That's the crazy part about this.
Okay.
She's going to be, detox from the internet for a while, learn from her mistakes, see what's really important in life. And it's like a reality check. It's like a hardcore reality check. So at the end of the day, even though people meant harm by fucking with her, it's just going to make her, at the end of the day, it's just going to make her a stronger person. But in this situation now, I would say 99 times.
I love it, just freezing how you put the kinky aspect into that, because she is still a kinky woman. She does have a lot of desires, and those desires might propel her to do certain things.
Out of 10, she's a harmless person, but in this case, she's fucking with this guy's reputation. You know what I mean? He's a normal white lawyer in some town somewhere. He's just a regular innocent white person. He has to play innocent and white for all the other so-called innocent white people. And you can't be having rumors that he was fucking not an employee. He was fucking a customer.
I wholeheartedly agree with this. You can't have that happen when you're a lawyer, you're in certain professional designations, you're an esquire, and there are rumors going around that you are banging your clients, you're sending them nudes. Like, this is a big no-no. I 100% agree with him. In fact, I've said this a multitude of times.
So-called innocent white people, and you can't be having rumors that he was fucking not an employee. He was fucking a customer, and he just doesn't. He could have gone his whole life without ever getting involved with purple glitter, and his life would have been just fine. Like, if it was up to him, he would like to erase having ever been involved with her. And that's the crazy part about some of you bitches in girl world. You are so fucked up that you make a motherfucker wish that that you could go into another timeline where that shit didn't happen, because it's like so chilling, so chilling and traumatizing. But send her some pictures.
She's not harmless. If you've ever been stalked before, people like that are not harmless. Like, looking from the outside in, they may seem harmless, but when you're doing your normal activity, when you're going to eat with family and somebody's messaging you, be like, oh, I love that red shirt of yours, or why did you go to the Subway? You should have gone to the pastry cafe next to the Subway, and you're getting messages like that because somebody's following you around. It's actually really weird, and it does cause you stress. So I would say, she's far from harmless.
Send her a nice letter. I know you bitches are gonna put money on her account, because at the end of the day, people fuck with purple glitter. People don't fuck with me, and somebody put a stack on my account.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The hell put a stack? Because if he's saying a stack, I guess he literally means a stack, which is like $1,000. Who the hell is having $1,000 to put on for the Wind Blue Gods commissary? Was that you, boobies?
People don't fuck with me, and somebody put a stack on my account.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? One of y'all had me laced up in that motherfucking in that county. Somebody put a whole fucking rack in my shit. So she needs her thermals, she needs her sweatpants, she needs her t-shirts, she needs her soap. The only thing they give you if you have absolutely nothing is they give you a state soap, a comb. She'll get tampon shit, a little toothpaste, a little shank proof. It's like this big, little shank proof, toothbrush, and this little cup of
It wasn't
shampoo and
locked?
conditioner.
Oh,
And then
you have some insider info for me, Soil? Like, who was it then? Is he lying? First of all, don't fall into the trap of believing shit that somebody says without sort of verifying it, or would that make sense? You know what I mean? Like when he said the silver surfing thing, like put, your shoes or sandals in between your ass cheeks, and that's that's still toilet. That makes a lot of sense. I don't gotta independently verify that. But other things, did somebody truly put a stack on there? I mean, it's plausible, but who would it be though?
a little shank-proof toothbrush, and this little this little cup of shampoo and conditioner, and then make 3 letters, three like pre-stamped 3 letters, three
Jesus
pre-stamped
Christ.
envelopes with
Did she get
3 pieces of paper
You think she
and a
got the
tiny little
envelopes? The 3 pre-stamped envelopes? Jesus, that's like the worst thing to give Purple Glitter. Might as well give her a shank.
3 letters, three like pre-stamped 3 letters, 3 pre-stamped envelopes with 3 pieces of paper and a tiny little pencil. That's what you'll get in her indigent kit, and that's what they give you when you check into to county jail. So she has that. She has her whatever paperwork she signed when they locked her up. She has that, her charges, and 3 jumpsuits. That's it. Pillow, blankets. So she's going through some shit that none of y'all are ever gonna have to experience, and that someone can't even articulate to you how fucking crazy it is. People try to be like, oh, she's in a nice, okay, yeah, like there's some of you that I'd like to see you get locked up where I was locked up in the ghetto. I'd like to see you deal with big fat ugly black bitches, beating you
Whoa,
up.
whoa, why is he back with the big, fat, ugly, black B word? This is what I don't get with this dude. I'm like, a black woman that, yes, was a little bit bigger than normal, put him up, was giving him whatever he needs, even that sweet, sweet, sweet loving at nighttime. And this dude's fucking upset about it. What the hell, man? You in New York City, you get him put up. All you gotta do is like lick a little bit of pum pum, give her some of the little dicky. Monty would be up for that shit. But then again, I ain't ever been to jail, nor do I want to go to jail, nor do I need somebody to fucking put me up. But I'm just saying, if you just gotta work your tongue game, give a few inches here or there, maybe in the morning, maybe at night, and you be on your way. That's just something, a little small thing to do for a place to stay is all I'm saying.
In the ghetto, I like to see you deal with big fat
He's a
ugly
small
black
man.
bitches, beating you up and all that crazy shit that goes on in there. But look, this is just a little slap on the wrist for her. Just a little, hey, Emily, get your shit together. Wake up and smell the concrete type shit. And I got you right where I want you, my love.
What? What the hell does that mean? I got you right where I want you, my love. Oh my god, this guy is something. What? Anyways, people, we're gonna wrap this up. I gotta go. I got some other stuff to do, but yeah, felony is not a slap on the wrist. You're right. Anyways, I'm out of here. Have a good one. Hopefully, this is some food for thought and whatnot. And we're gonna be back. Same bat time, same bat channel, I guess. You know what I mean, right? Well, yeah. Peace out. See you later.